What is going on, everybody, and welcome back. MG Marine Tech here. I want to show you guys something really quick here. See this sloppy mess? That slushy, sloppy mess means that spring is right around the corner, and spring means open water season. Water warming up, fish are starting to spawn, going onto their beds, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today, is showing you guys what bluegill beds, bream beds, whatever you want to call them, what their beds look like on side imaging. Now, side imaging is a great tool for finding these style of beds because they're really easy to spot, and if you're lucky, you might even catch a glimpse of fish actually on their beds. Let's dive in, show you exactly what they look like, and break down this screenshot. Alright guys, so here is the first picture of bluegill beds that we're going to be breaking down on side imaging. Now, a lot of you guys have been kind of asking for this, so I wanted to show you exactly what these bluegill beds look like, but there's a little bit more than just bluegill beds going on in this picture, so let's kind of break down everything that we're seeing here. Now, first, what I'm going to be talking about is that this is a giant sand flat with sharp weed edges on both sides of the picture. So I'm going to highlight the sand flat for you. So that kind of goes like so. And this area we can't really see exactly what's going on, but then again, that other side of that weed edge goes in here like so. Now this area right here that I have highlighted, inside of this is all a sand flat. There is a clump of weeds right here, and some few sporadic weeds kind of throughout here. But for the majority of this area is a great big sand flat. Now on the other side, or the right side of this line, or the outside of this line all the way around, it is a weed bed. Now there is an extremely sharp transition from no weeds to weeds over here. All this fuzzy stuff, these are weeds, very extremely dense weeds. You can see the weeds, it's clear as day. Goes from no weeds to weeds within inches. So it's a very sharp weedage. Same thing over here, all of this is weeds. You can see there's kind of a pocket right here, it goes into the weeds like so. Yeah, all this stuff is weeds. If you guys haven't figured it out already, there are several bluegill beds in this picture. There's a big clump of them right here, a big group of them right here, and there's another clump of them right here. All those areas are just piles of bluegill beds, and they look like divots on a golf ball, like the surface of a golf ball. So each one of these dark spots right here are bluegill beds. That's the shadow. So again, each one of these little divots or dark spots, that is a bluegill bed on both sides. So this would be a very productive spot to fish for bluegills if the fish are on the bed. And that brings me to my next picture. So this is the next picture. This is really the same area, just a different time of year when the fish are actually on the bed. So again, we have that weed edge that kind of goes like so, and it kind of goes like this. So everything in between this line and this line is really a big sand flat. There is, again, some blotchy weeds here and there. There's some weeds right in here too, but not really concerned right now. What we are looking at here though is that same exact big pile of bluegill beds. There's a couple of old ones right here, but there's a bunch right here, and there's a bunch right up in here. If we zoom into this area right here, we can see there is a bunch of these white specks or lighter colored specks in the middle of the shadows or the beds, and that is fish. So this time of year, the fish are actually on the beds. We're able to see it with how clear the side imaging is on these units now. So we can really see that this would be a very productive place to start fishing, and is exactly what you want to be looking for. Just because they're beds doesn't mean they're always going to be on them or around them, but in this instance there is. Even down here, you can see all the little specks in here. These are all fish on their beds. Alright guys, so this is the last picture of bluegill beds or bream beds that we are going to look at. Same thing, it's obvious by now, you guys know this is what we are looking at here. These are the bluegill beds, but when we zoom in, again, you can see that there are fish on each one of these beds, Maybe not all of them, but there are definitely fish holding on these beds. This is exactly what we want to be looking for. So again, using your tools, you could take this crosshair that's right here. You could put that crosshair on these beds, hit your waypoint button, which is this one right here, and it will drop a waypoint right here on your map, so you can then circle back around and hopefully start catching fish. There you have it. That is a very simple breakdown of what bluegill, bream beds, whatever you want to call them, what they look like on side imaging. Side imaging is a great tool for finding these style of beds. They're really easy to spot, especially once you know what you're looking at, and hopefully this video did that for you guys. If you guys like this style of content, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and as always, stay tuned for more tips and tricks on MG Marine Tech.